Hey guys, John here from Guy Fawkes, and today I want to take you under the hood of our Guy Fawkes remix of Prize Cart. We're lucky enough to be one of 8 winners of this year's Prize Cart remix for Electric Forest, so I thought it'd be really cool to show you guys exactly what we did and to actually get into the project file. So starting with the Prize Cart sample itself, it's always a little bit difficult when you're starting with an entire song instead of just like a vocal stem. So like for this, for example, we didn't have any of the vocal stems. We just had the entire track. So you have to be kind of careful about how you edit and manipulate the sample to make it work inside the song. So the first step of that is getting rid of all the muddy bass frequencies. So we threw a high pass filter on here, and you can see it's pretty sharp at like 200 hertz.
Right.
And then we just found the part where the vocals go Prize Cart, because that's the part that we wanted to accentuate. And we chopped that up and just threw some effects on it.
Right. Right. Right.
Just a bunch of different like pitching different samples and slicing it up and that sort of thing. And then we chop it up into this like kind of percussive upbeat slice. And this kind of serves an element of like serves the role of like a percussive element and keeps the energy going, but it also keeps the same tone, so like you don't forget that you're listening to the Prize Cart song, you know what I mean? It's like the same tone of like the Prize Cart, but it keeps going, so then when the actual Prize Cart thing comes back in again, you're kind of used to hearing it. And then throughout the song, we do a couple small variations, just like in terms of the rhythm, like this part. But otherwise, we just keep it kind of going the same way throughout. One thing that we do in this like second breakdown here, which is kind of cool, is we pitch it up. And I realized that once you pitch this sample up, there's this like really cool bass fill that kind of comes to the forefront. And I wanted to accentuate that. So what I did is I took off this filter just for this one little segment. You can see the filter comes on and off. It's just automated to turn off, but it still wasn't accentuating the bass enough. So what I did is I duplicated the track and then threw a bandpass filter on the duplicated track and also a saturator, just so you're getting a lot of that bass coming through, that like oomph. You can hear that, right? So together these things sound pretty cool in context. That's basically it for the actual sample. We basically just do that same sort of thing all the way through. I mean, there are a couple parts where we play the actual sample itself.
Prize Cart.
Just as like an effect or whatever. But that's basically it for the sample. And then moving on to the synths. So we have basically like 2 or 3 basses that are really carrying the song. And these were all originally serum patches that we modified in one way or another, and then just because of our workflow, it made sense to resample them. So they've all been resampled, so they're not MIDI files anymore. But one cool thing that we like to do with these basses, and we do it in a lot of our songs, not just this remix, is we automate the pitch bend knob on Serum, and all synthesizers will have a pitch bend knob. But adding some automation to make the pitch kind of slide around can give some really cool movement to like otherwise stale basses. So for example, this first wobble here, you can hear it's going like instead of like bum. And then this other one here also does the same sort of thing. And that creates a really cool like call and response kind of feel, which really keeps the groove going. And then of course all of these basses are sidechained to the kick drum to give it that kind of pumping feel. And then in terms of the drums, we're really not doing too much crazy stuff here. It's really just a kick, snare, some cymbals, and then we bring in the some top loops from time to time. And then one cool thing we do is we bring these cowbells here. And we chop it up. There's an original like cowbell sample that we got from somewhere, but we pitch up these samples. So you can see here, this one is 7 half steps up. So it has like a bump ba dum ba da da bump ba dum. And that's the way cowbells sound in like concert bands when they have like concert cowbells. They have like different pitches, and so that gives it kind of a Latin feel. And the last thing I'll say about the drums is this snare here. So one thing that I love to do with snare drums is to find the like root frequency, like the fundamental frequency of the drum. And you can see in this snare drum, if you look at the frequency spectrum down here, you can see this peak right here. Yeah, like right there. It's like 300 hertz. That's the fundamental frequency of the snare. That's that like noise when the snare is hitting. So I like to accentuate that. I'll give it a little boost there, and that'll really make it punch through the mix. And that helps to create this like artificial, like electronic, like super like EDM-ish, just like boom snare. And then finally, on top of the snare, I also like to throw distortion, and I put distortion on like all of my snares. Especially the Ableton stock distortion is really good at creating like a super crunchy high end with like really, really wide stereo image. So you can see I have it really cranked up here. And if you listen to what it sounds like before, so I'll turn it off. Right, so that's without distortion, and then it's just like way crispier and punches through the mix way better. So that's basically the song. We do a couple different things a little bit later on, but the majority of the song is just those couple elements. If you guys are interested in hearing more about these basses here, I have the old MIDI files. I can always crack them open and show you some of our processing chain and that sort of thing. Or if you have any questions about anything, leave a comment below, and I'm happy to respond. But otherwise, thank you for listening to our song. Thank you for watching the video, and we'll see you in the forest. Peace.